Hello, friends. Welcome back to Honey Apple Farm. I know it's been a long time since we've seen each other. I apologize for that. I'm going to explain why that is in a minute. But first, I just want to let you know that yes, I am alive. Everything is fine. The house is fine. Nothing horrendous has happened since I last saw you in December. I've just had a lot of other stuff going on, which we'll explain in a minute. But yes, I'm here. I'm alive. Apologies for just dropping off the face of the earth for 7 months. Even though I haven't been publishing them on YouTube, things have been happening at the house and I have been filming everything, which means that I now have 7 months of footage that I need to go through and try to put into some sort of cohesive, hopefully interesting, relatively quick moving videos for you all, which I am working on. My dad was here for another round of dad days in April, so I'm working on that video separate from the kind of overall catch-up video. But this video is basically a short video to explain where I've been and that you can hopefully start getting some videos from me. My goal is maybe every couple of weeks for now, and we can get back on track with sharing with you all what's going on here at the house. So the reason I haven't been posting any videos for the last 7 months, as you may remember, I took a couple weeks off at Christmas to really just unwind and decompress, which was very, very necessary. Unfortunately, what I had intended to happen was that I would be well rested and kind of bounce back into the new year with a lot of energy, and that did not happen. Pretty much all of January and February, all I wanted to do was sit in front of the fire and read a book, and it was a struggle to, do the things that are needed to keep the house going, like bring in firewood and keep up with the online work so that the paychecks would keep coming in. The one thing I did decide I wanted to prioritize this year is keeping up with my reading goal. And so that coincided nicely with the desire to want to just sit in front of the fireplace and read. But it also means that we didn't do a lot around the house. And I definitely did not have the creative energy to cut the footage together for you and show you the projects that were going on at that time. I also had a couple of health adventures, I guess you'd call them. Nothing horrible, just putting that right out there at the front. Nothing horrible. I was having a lot of trouble with my knees, and my back, which I've had off and on for the last couple of years, and I decided that it was time to do something about the knees because I literally could not put any pressure on either kneecap without screaming in pain. So I went to a physical therapist for most of March and April and into May, and that actually really helped. And my knees 6 months on now are much, much better. They still have an occasional twinge, but they're nowhere near as bad as they used to be. I also had an abnormal reading on a routine mammogram at the end of last year, which required me to go get an MRI as a follow-up, which I'd never done before. And that was a whole emotional thing, which turned out to be fine. It turned out to be no big deal at all. And as far as all of the test results have shown, it was just one of those weird things that we'll keep an eye on, but there's nothing going on. I do have another follow-up in October to confirm that, but that seems to be the general consensus. So although neither of these health things were that big a deal, they did take that much more energy, which means I was not able to edit and produce YouTube videos. And then once those things were kind of on the back burner, my dad came in April. And as you guys know, that's always kind of a big deal. My chorus contest was in May. And so there was a bunch of preparatory work going on the end of April while my dad was here for that chorus contest. Also in April, the community garden kicked over from being one planning session a week to being 2 work sessions a week. And I also picked up a couple of extra part-time jobs that were very busy in April and May to kind of help bring in some extra money to pay the bills. So it was just a lot to handle. And while I kept filming things as they happened, I just didn't have the energy to sit down and edit any of them. So the good news is that I do now have all of that footage and I will be editing it for you. It will feel a little bit behind the times. We're obviously kind of the end of July now. So it's, half the way through summer and I still have winter and spring and early summer to catch you all up on, but I will catch you up on all of those things. Just to kind of give you a preview, we haven't done any big splashy projects this year. Again, see no energy. Peter has been working in his office to make it a much more comfortable space. And frankly, it is the nicest part of the house at this point in time. We did have a couple of, I'm going to call them mechanical issues. We had new gutters put on, which was very exciting. We have some ongoing improvements to the water system. Again, all of which I'll go in greater depth, but there hasn't been a lot of time for huge projects this year. At one point in May, actually for all of May, I had my full-time day job 2 projects at the education client that I've been working on as opposed to one. I had picked up a second one, and I also was very busy with another education client. So basically, I had one day job, 3 side hustles, plus the garden, which I was prioritizing twice a week, not only because I love gardening, but also it's a great community builder. And then I was keeping up with my reading goal and, living and doing all the things that you have to do around the house. So I did not intend to fall off the face of the earth for this long, and I apologize if I worried anyone. I apologize that I was not able to come on sooner and let you guys know what was going on. I know I must have worried some of you. That was not my intention. I did not expect this year to be such a low energy year, either for the house or for doing the creative work. I'm new to doing the YouTube thing and just did not expect that this would hit the skids the way it did. So there will probably be at least 2 catch-up videos and a special Dad Days video because that deserves its own video. And then what I would like to do, it's been 2 years since we've closed on the house. We closed on the house at the end of July 2024. Obviously, we didn't move in until February 2025, but we have now owned the house for 2 years, which is wild to say out loud. So what I'd like to do is one of those kind of relapse, over the time span of the last 2 years and kind of highlight what's been going on. So that's the plan for that'll probably be the next month or 2. I am trying to find an hour or 2 every morning before the other work commitments to work on the videos, and we'll kind of see how this goes. So please let me know in the comments below how you're doing, how you're getting on. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you sticking around through the long absence, and I will see you soon in the next video, which is probably Dad Days 2026. Bye for now.